Hey guys, welcome back to the top of my bed. Where today today's topic isn't really about me, just anyway. It's just like in general about what's going on in the world today. That's kind of really concerning me. So if you guys have noticed, there's been a lot of videos circulating about comments on TikTok and just comments in general about very serious, delicate topics. And unfortunately, for some reason, under videos that do have those really dark themes and stuff really gruesome, stuff that really deserves respect because it's genuinely a big problem. A lot of comments that you'll see under those videos, they'll always be making a joke out of it, and I think that's kind of my problem. I feel like empathy in this world is just gone. You know, like there's just a lot less respect for just people anywhere, just people, just for each other. I feel like we as a species are really starting to devolve because we're not respecting each other anymore. We're not taking account in other people's feelings anymore. Like, we're starting to make jokes out of really serious things. And it's really, really disturbing. Another thing that I really find disturbing is the amount of, I'm not one to say that venting to your friends is bad, right? Because I think that if they give you that safe space and you trust them enough, I think that's great because that sets a clear connection between you two. That means you have a good connection with each other, you're strong, you can trust each other. But when you can't set clear boundaries with each other, or one person will try to set clear boundaries and the other person will not listen to that, I feel like that is just a lack of empathy and respect and regard for the other person's emotions. Because, if I want to keep this space between me and someone, this space of communication where I can feel safe, where I can have somewhere that have someone, something, just anywhere where I can talk about my problems and someone can listen to them, and then I can I don't know, either just feel better about not having all of that weight on my shoulders, or I can ask for some advice. And I think that's great, right? But I also think that it should be reciprocated. I think that if you're going to do that, you also need to do the same to the person that you're venting to. Because a lot of times, that's which is the biggest problem that I have with just today. People will talk to you about their problems and they'll be venting to you, and I think, okay, that's great, awesome. You're talking to me, you're explaining your emotions, you feel safe around me. I think that's great. But the fact that you won't let me talk to you just really defeats the whole purpose of having a clear, safe connection between one another. And the fact that I'm hearing all of the stuff that you're telling me and having to have that on set on me, it in a way it also affects me having to deal with that information and having to deal with the fact that I know this about you and it's kind of distressing to me, and I need to talk to someone about it because I can't just bottle all of this up. I can't just keep it all to myself. This it's too much for me. So when you won't let me talk to anyone about it, it gets like, it gets kind of frustrating. Because, sorry that if there was like a cut there or there was like a pause, I got it. It was a weird thing popped up. It gets frustrating because then I have to, not only do I have to carry my own problems with me, I also have to carry around the fact that you are dealing with this. I can't help you. I can't do anything about it. And I can't talk to anyone about it. And I can't let that get off my shoulders safely. You know, it, like, sometimes it gets to a point. And, like, me, I'm a person who I feel obligated, not that I feel obligated, but I feel comfortable with letting people know that, hey, you can talk to me. You can talk to me, alright? Whatever is bothering you, talk to me about it. I don't mind. Really. Just let me know. I'm open. But that means I also need to have someone out there so that I can talk to someone about it. I need my own emotional outlet, you know, so that I don't have to keep bottling up all of these, like, responsibilities, however you want to call it. Now, I'm not saying that venting to people is bad and that you should only, like, do it once or whatever. I'm saying it's good, but you also have to consider how they will feel after. Because whenever I vent to someone, I always feel like, hey, okay, I wonder how this person's feeling. I hope that they can, I don't know, tell someone about it. Well, like, not tell about the problems I told them, but in a way, talk to someone about the feelings that they're feeling, and they don't have to bottle up all of this information I just gave them. Right? And I just, when you don't take that into consideration, I feel like it's just, like, why? You know? I feel like that's just using someone for emotional support. And when you, like, when you vent to someone continuously and continuously and continuously, and, you know, they kind of start to pull away, I think that's kind of a way for you to realize I'm kind of doing too much a bit here. Like, both parties have their own reasonings for everything, right? The party that's talking about all their problems, obviously they need an emotional outlet. They need someone to talk to about this. But then the party that's receiving it also needs that support, because they are also going to get affected by these thoughts, by these emotions. They're going to be affected by this information. And so, like, sorry, I'm kind of forgetting where I was. But when you restrict the access for that person to really talk to someone, it just makes things so much worse. Because if you talk to someone about your problems, but then you will not at any point, any cost, whatever, talk to anyone about it, you will not let them express their own emotions to anyone about this situation, which obviously you have the right to not, like, have people talk about your own problems, but you don't have a right to control how other people deal with their own emotions. Because if someone is the type to, they can have, like, a conversation with you, and they can take some of the mental strain and mental toll that you're going through, but they also need to do that themselves, because, you know, that's how they deal with it, and that's how they can keep providing you this place of safety, this place of comfort, so you can keep talking to them, so you can keep, like, finding ways to solve your problems. If you restrict that, it just makes it so much harder for them to be able to take in any more information that you put out to them. And it makes it so much harder for them to try and keep up with all of this and to want to keep listening to you. Because at some point, it gets really tiring, right? And I feel like that's just a lack of empathy in a way that people who do that don't take into account other people's emotions and how it affects other people. And like I wish like a lot of people would realize this, because it really is a prominent like problem. So if more people recognize this, then we can have like just a better understanding of each other, and we can provide better spaces for each other, because then both parties have like something to offer for each other. Like one party gets to talk to the other, and if the other is able to, they will be able to just let that load off their shoulders and then come back and with enthusiasm, I would hope, provide that safe space for this person just in the same way. And it won't diminish because they don't have a worse mental toll from when you've told them, and they will ultimately just they'll feel better being able to talk to you. So obviously nobody has the right to talk about your problems and what's going on with you, but letting the person that you vented to at least have a conversation with someone that they trust, that they know nobody will tell anything about, not in great detail, but just like about something, so that they can take that off their shoulders, and then they can just keep like giving you that support. It just makes it better for everyone, you know. In the long run, it just lets everyone be happy, and well, not entirely happy, but like, you know, it makes it better. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my rant. Love y'all. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.